Orval. It's finally time for one of the most iconic beers in the world. If you have seen my videos before, you know that I am a bit scared or suspicious of Belgian beer. It's often strong, too strong, boozy, spicy. It can be bitter in that kind of spicy way. And I'm rarely in the mood for something Belgian just to relax. It's more like I want to investigate something. But now, finally, time to take the plunge. This bottle has actually been in my fridge for around 2.5 years. And this bottle is pretty new, so I thought it could be interesting to compare the two, see if there is any difference. And you know, keeping a beer in the fridge for 2.5 years says something about my relationship with Belgian beer. So this one was bottled in February 2022, so almost 3 years ago. I saw as well that the ABV isn't too high. It's pretty much like Lef. Ooh, I did not expect that. Do you have the grown-up soda Pommac in your country? It's something common around New Year in Sweden if you don't drink alcohol. Yeah, so it smells like that soda, also cherries maybe. But let's open the other one straight away as well. And this is bottled in July 2024, so half a year. And that is pretty normal, right? When you buy a beer, it can be half a year, at least these strong ones. I thought I would smell more kind of a vinegar note, because that is what I have heard, but nothing so far. The newer one smells pretty similar, maybe closer to champagne than Pommac. Yeah, the older one has more overripe fruits. It also smells more like candy. It's something sugar-coated, maybe kind of spirit candy. It almost smells like toffee. Or it's some kind of tea I buy sometimes. I can't remember which one. Something mildly fruit flavored. Well, this one smells much more interesting, the old one. Or does it? Let's see what has happened now when it has been in the glass for a while. The newer one smells drier. I get that champagne feeling again. There is some flowery notes as well. Maybe like honey, I guess, but mostly flowers. Interesting that the difference was that big. It might, of course, be, you know, different batches, but I think it's pretty consistent over the years. If not, let me know in the comments. If memory serves me right, I'm thinking of a tea called Söders höjder, the hills of the south, which has spices of tropical fruits, and orange peel. I don't get much of the tropical fruits, more maybe dry tropical fruits in that case, dry pineapple maybe. Anyway, so interesting, and from the aroma, I definitely prefer the older one, the 3-year-old one. But let's have a taste, starting with the newer one, Santé. This wasn't at all what I expected. I don't know what I was afraid of. It's pretty malt forward, actually. Some kind of grainy malt base. Green apples. It's pretty sour. Not really bitter. A little bit of kind of black tea bitterness in the finish. It's also much more blonde than I expected, both in the color and in the flavors. I thought this would be more of a brown beer, a double Belgian ale. It is very dry, but there is a bit of zest, orange zest at the start. You have brown sugar, bitter orange, cherries, maybe also dried apricots, and something nicely herbal in the finish as well. I thought there would be some sort of vinegar notes. I don't know what I got that from, but let's have a sip of water in between and then dig into the 3-year-old one. Santé. Not as big of a difference as in the aroma, but it has more of, what is it? I get cinnamon, I think. Something more, a little bit more spicy and sweet. It's not as bitter. It's a little bit smoother and softer, but also, contrary to the aroma, a bit more subdued when it comes to the fruity flavors, at least the apples and, well, the orange too, I think. It actually feels like the malt base also is softer for some reason, but there is cherries, brown sugar. Let's go back to the newer one straight away, see what happens. Yeah, it feels fresher somehow. Of course it is. It is much younger, but you can get that in the flavors that this is, what's the word? Spritzy. It's slightly more bitter, slightly more sour. I think I actually prefer the newer one, taste-wise, but the aroma from the older one. Alright, I have tried these beers side by side a few more times now, and the difference isn't as big as I thought, or as the aroma kind of promised. Apple and more cinnamon-ish herbs in this one, but everything else is more subdued and soft. So I guess the conclusion is, like I said initially, I prefer the aroma of the older one, but the taste of the newer one. But just for fun, let's mix the two and see what happens. Of course, nothing spectacular will happen, but this might be the best of two worlds. Nice aroma and great taste. That was the best. It might be that I'm using the correct glass as well, and that I'm drinking with all the foam. I don't think you do that usually, do you? It felt like that was a good idea to create a big foam head. Is it supposed to look like this? I think it looks very tasty. One last time then. Santé. That's so strange. Is it all about the glass? This still won't be a favorite beer, I think, for a long time at least. I actually have another Orval bottle in the fridge, so maybe I'll let that age for 7 years. Let me know your experiences with Orval in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and remember, drink responsibly!